Now's the time for us to discuss the main event, the match that would determine the champion of champions.
And thus concludes tonight's episode of Pro Wrestling Talk Radio. Thanks, everybody.
Oh, no, you're not getting out of this one easy, buddy.
World Heavyweight Champion was named in this match, and that person was Randy Orton. The WWE Champion, Randy Orton. It was him versus the World Heavyweight Champion, John Cena, in a tables, ladders, and chairs match. And when everything was said and done, Randy Orton rose up the ladder to claim both titles.
This match was okay, pretty lame. I usually don't get into the whole no-selling thing, but Randy Orton was a little ridiculous in this match. I mean, he takes the ladder to the face, goes through the table, right back up, goes through the announce table, goes through another table in the ring, stands up and handcuffs John Cena before John Cena gets up. I was kind of like, ugh, that's a little out of control. Overall, really just kind of a little boring at times. You know, it was just kind of slow. I didn't go into it expecting the high-flying ladder match. I knew we weren't going to get that, but overall, the match was kind of the match was physical, and that was kind of made it okay and passable. But overall, as the main event, it really didn't deliver. Orton winning is fine. I think they're going to get Punk either at the Royal Rumble or at WrestleMania, probably, unless he goes and faces Triple H, which we don't know. And Bryan's going to be in a throwaway match, so there's no option there. Overall, Orton winning, I'm fine with it. You know, that's okay. We'll move on, and we will actually get to the stuff that matters, and we'll see where they can go for WrestleMania season.
I have to give the WWE creative team all the credit in the world for the way this match was built up. To the guys in the production truck, whoever edited the films, I thought that was amazing. It really gave this match the big fight feel that it needed to have. Let's get into the match, though. Yeah, I said last week that this match was, and it had a very tough thing to do. It had to deliver. It had to be a borderline perfect match, because if it weren't for that, this whole card would have suffered as a whole. This card was basically dependent on this match delivering. Did this match deliver? I don't really know, because it just kind of happened. There were some decent spots going on in the match. I thought that the steel steps going in Randy Orton's face, that was pretty cool. The whole handcuff spot, that was pretty okay. But there were a lot of illogical false finishes. And I know that this is a ladder match. You can't have the guy just rush up the ladder and just take the belts down, because you have to have time for the other guy to sell the moves. But they didn't sell any of the moves. Randy Orton, just like Charlie said, Randy just fell through a bunch of tables. He got up first, even though he was bum rushed and speared through the corner table that was set up there. He got up before John Cena. So a lot of crazy stuff going on in there. A lot of moves that didn't make sense during the match. I thought that they were very careful with each other during the match. And I understand these are two of the biggest stars. This is really a B pay-per-view right before the road to WrestleMania. Nobody wants to get hurt. But come on, this was kayfabe-wise the biggest match of all time. And for that, I just don't feel that this was what it was supposed to be, what it should have been. I understand that these are both heavyweights. It's not like this was Rey Mysterio versus I don't know, some luchador guy. Let's just say Ultimo Dragon. Anybody but Rey Mysterio, anybody but Sin Cara, because he would have broke his leg during the match. But let's just say this was Rey Mysterio versus a capable high flyer in a TLC match. I'm not saying it had to be like that. We've actually had some decent heavyweight matches between Edge and Undertaker, the ladder match they had. We had another good match, which was very underrated, for the Intercontinental title between Triple H and The Rock, back when they were mid-carders on their way up in the WWE. It's not like it was impossible for these guys to deliver. But at the same time, you know, I don't know. I don't think this hurt the pay-per-view that much, not as much as I said it would. But at the same time, for what it was built up to be, I felt that, yeah, afterwards I was kind of like, that's it. You know, especially with Vince McMahon's return, you know, I was just left with I'm not saying I wanted a WCW-esque kind of finish where it had to be absolutely ridiculous. I just felt that it was a little bit conservative, on the conservative side as far as the ending is concerned. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but, you know, hey, it just could have been a lot better.
Before I open the champagne bottles and celebrate, I'm just going to come out here and give credit where credit is due. The moment where Randy Orton first fell through that table, that wooden table, and John Cena was climbing the ladder, I actually took my hat off and threw it at the screen in anger because I did not want Cena to win. So that was a mark of a good storyteller. If I actually thought Cena was going to win the match, there you go, buddy. You get your credit. But now it's my time to shine. The match was what it was. It wasn't nothing we'll remember 20 years from now, which is unfortunate because that's what it was built up to be. However, the outcome was beautiful. For fans like me and fans who are tired of the same old crap with John Cena, we got something beautiful. Cena put someone over clean. Even though the ending was a botch, I kind of like how the botch made it look like a real knockout because it looked like it kind of hurt, so I was okay with the botch in this scenario. I'm just overjoyed that Randy Orton took down the brass ring and showed it to us fans who have been waiting for years for Cena to put someone over, have someone who's talented like Randy Orton to have the spot. It's his now. He can have it. We didn't get a stupid screw job where we get two A-swap belts or Triple H climbing the belt with his big nose and grabbing the belt with his nose. No, we got the man who deserved it most, and that is Randy Orton. And we can look to the future. WrestleMania 30, the possibilities are endless. Jay will get what he wants with Taker and Cena, and Randy Orton will probably face Punk maybe, or somebody. We get a good WWE title match for once at WrestleMania. It is time, people. It is a new beginning for us fans. This is what WWE needed to do, was create a new beginning for us fans. The match was what it was. It was nothing, but the outcome made the pay-per-view glorious. I stood up, clapped my hands in victory, and Cena was crying, all sad. I was smiling. I'm like, yeah, that's right, buddy. Randy Orton's our guy. We got someone tonight. We did it, boys. We won a victory tonight, and we're going to Disneyland. Yes, we are. Thank you. My God, Randy Orton. Champion.
What a freaking mark.
You're talking as if Randy Orton is the new kid on the fucking block. This dude is what, an 11-time, now 12-time world champion, and you
but he had to be put over.
Yeah, John Cena put him over. Randy Orton, somebody finally was put over by John Cena, and we have the champion. Get the hell out of here. This dude has been champion how many times?
But he's good.
You're like a freaking YouTube video comment troll / mark.
Your hatred for Cena is just too ridiculous.
I gave him credit, didn't I? You can't say that now because
barely.
You gave him credit about pissing you off at the possibility that he would win the match.
That's just storytelling. That's a good thing. That's what your point was. That shots fired. That I thought he was the heel.
The problem with that statement is that Randy Orton no-sold the table.
Who gives a shit about that? It's Randy Orton's time.
Oh
baby.
Yeah, because it's not John Cena.
Yeah, hell, if Cena was the one who went to the table, he got up that quickly, you would be furious.
Well,
so
because
foaming from the mouth
of no selling. Cena does.
Randy Orton probably outdid anything John Cena's done this entire year. The dude went through freaking two tables, steel stairs, and it's okay for you because it's not John Cena. Hypocrite,
well, here's the thing I find fascinating.
Hypocrite.
Is that like last week you also said, oh, this should be like CM Punk and Daniel Bryan because they could make a star with this match. And I'm like, make a star. That's the most over guy in wrestling and the guy who's champion for 400 days and we still need to make, like, I don't get what your whole put over aspect is. Like, this idea of putting over the guy who's been the second biggest star in wrestling forever. Like, I don't get it. Randy Orton couldn't be put over. Like, he's 2 title reigns away from being John Cena's amount of title reigns.
He deserves it more than Cena. And you know what? We got a champion of champions we can be proud of. Not some stale-ass popcorn.
I love how much you dodge questions. I love how you just duck.
I'm going to jump in here, my thoughts on the match. Yeah, this match was built up to be one of the biggest matches of all time. Champion versus champion. I guess we're disregarding the whole Jericho thing. So it's champion versus champion. Only one person to be crowned champion. I was going into this match thinking this was going to be like memorable, like amazing. And I got to say, this match disappointed me so much. Like, if this match was just for the world title, okay, fair enough. For the WWE title, okay, fair enough. Might still have complaints. But for the biggest match of pretty much the year, it is pretty much the biggest match of the year, and probably for a very long time the biggest match. So they did not deliver, and the no-selling of Orton, just the way it ended, like them sitting up on the ladder for ages where they clearly could have grabbed the belts, and then they have to. I did not like this match at all. I really didn't enjoy it. Maybe it's because, but then it was because they built this match up to be the biggest match, and it wasn't, and they dropped the ball on this one. And I think honestly, the TLC, the TLC ruined it for me. If this was a single match, I think this match could have been so much better, and just it could have went so many different places. But the fact that it was TLC, it really didn't deliver for me. Cena definitely did put Orton over, so that's cool. I guess Justin can shut up about him not putting people over. But yeah, and then when Vince McMahon and then Vince McMahon and that came out, I was like, okay, what's going to happen here? And then nothing. So, I don't know. This whole match in general, really, I didn't enjoy it. It didn't deliver for me. And I'm disappointed. And David said this match had to deliver for the card to be good. And I think it really made the card bad for me. Like, the whole pay-per-view in general, really, let down. But either way, we'll see what happens. And as Charlie said, road to WrestleMania. So we'll see where they go.
I think the continuing theme that we've seen throughout all of our co-hosts will except for Justin because he's just so happy that John Cena lost. Shit, the fucking world could have blown up immediately after the match and he would still be happy at the fact that John Cena lost the pay-per-view.
I would die smiling.
So as long as he got what he wanted, he's cool, but the continuing
I did say
theme...
that if Triple H won, I've been worse. Just saying, or the title swapping, I've been worse if Cena would have won. Gave him credit there, but no one wants to say that.
I wish Triple H would have won.
So basically, that would have been the lesser of two evils. That's your line of thinking.
Yep, but you know what? Didn't have to come to that because Randy Orton got what he deserved. We didn't have to hear David sing. We can sing in the streets together collectively as WWE fans who like wrestling and not just flavor of the month.
I don't care that Orton won. I don't even care that Orton won. It's just the way the match is why I didn't like it. Like, I didn't care that Orton won. It's just the way it ended wasn't really appealing for me.
I think the thing is here, everyone was so caught up in the hype. And I talked about this time and time and time again. The fact that WWE was saying this was a match of epic proportions. One of the biggest matches in the history of WWE. They had all of the history of the titles all tied to this match. And the match just did not match up with the hype. I thought on its own it was a good match, but it did come off a bit underwhelming, and maybe that was just me, and I don't know if anyone else would admit to it, but it's that kind of thing where we hype ourselves up so much that we aren't accustomed to just having a match end regularly. We always expect something to happen like, man, what's going to happen next? Oh, wait a minute. Somebody has to run out here. Somebody has to come and say that we're going to restart the match or something like that. Maybe we play a little part in that too, but as far as I'm concerned, this match did just enough for it not to be a disappointment in my book. It was a good match, but it wasn't at the level, it wasn't at the standard that WWE set. And that's going to be a problem for some folks. And I also did pick up on some of the no-selling that happened in the match. Like, someone would deliver a move to their opponent, and then the opponent that got hit or got put through a table or got knocked out by the fucking ladder, they would jump up before the other guy did. So I thought that was a little problem in the match, but we did get some good moments there. I think Orton being put through the table, that was a good moment when Cena, like, knocked him off. He hit him with the ladder. Orton went crashing through the table, and there was some other good stuff that happened in the match. But overall, it was good, not amazing. But I'm honestly a little, what's the word I'm looking for here?
Sad that Cena didn't win?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all.
Very disappointed.
I wouldn't say I'm disappointed about the fact that I can't gush over the match.
And I can.
Because going into the match, I was like, yeah, oh my God, I can't wait to see this. Like, off of that championship ascension ceremony, I was like, man, this is going to be fucking awesome. I cannot wait to see this match even seconds before it started. That's exactly how I was. And coming out of the match, it wasn't like I was mad. It's just that the match, it was there. They did just enough to get by. I don't know how they could have possibly made it epic and made it meet that standard that WWE set. I don't know how they could do that. All I know is that they didn't get there. They didn't.
They needed a singles match.
Yeah, that's like it.
Like a singles match. TLC itself, it hurt the match, honestly, I think. If you had a singles match, you could have done so much better. And I'm not disappointed, again, not disappointed on the outcome. I'm disappointed in the match itself. Like, Justin's there, he's happy that Orton won. Fair enough. But I'm going in looking at the match, and I didn't enjoy the match. And that's what I'm disappointed at. They were building up to be this amazing match, like, biggest match of all time. And I was like, okay, cool. The match has to be great. Don't care who wins. Just make this match amazing and memorable. And they didn't. And that's my disappointment. I feel like if it was a singles match, I could have got that. Yeah.
So on that token, wasn't I the one saying the match was going to suck to begin with because I know their track record. I've seen all
But
their
the
matches.
match didn't suck.
It
didn't suck.
It was
It's just
very,
what it was
very
built up
not
to be.
good. It was there. It was okay. It was probably one of the best of the feuds, but doesn't say much because all their other matches suck.
Not at all, in my opinion. I've seen a lot of better John Cena. They actually did have I think it was a tables match though. But anyway, they had a tables match on Raw for free, and that was a lot better. So for what we were advertised, I just didn't feel like they delivered exactly. And it's not like
honestly,
I'm not saying that I wanted a WCW screwy type of finish. I was kind of expecting it, but I'm not saying that it needed that to be a good match. It's just the match itself. They were very careful with themselves. A lot of illogical false finishes. I mean, guys were waiting up at the top of the ladder when they could have won the match. Cena could have definitely won the match, but he just waited there. A lot of silly spots in there. So it was good, just not amazing.
And I think we also have to hold ourselves accountable here. Going back to something that I said, a lot of you mentioned how you were waiting on the, like, what's next? Is that it? If we had gotten something after the match ended with Randy Orton winning, would we be sitting here complaining about that? Because we've seen that happen before. And I can raise my hand saying that I'm guilty of that when something happens and I'm like, I fucking hate this. You can look at Battleground. You can look at other pay-per-views recently where we've gotten some crazy finishes of matches where it wasn't just a straight-up victory. You did get stuff that happened afterwards, but would we be, like, what could they have done to add something more to that ending to possibly reach that epic level that we wouldn't be complaining about?
Again, yeah. Again, for me,
I would fully
yeah, for me, it's the match. I'll go with David said. For me, it's just the match itself. They could have done anything at the end. It could have been the greatest thing ever, but still, I would have been sitting there going, that match just disappointed me. Because again, even though they hyped it for Champion vs. Champion, it's the fact that they hyped it, and it's the fact that even if they didn't hype it as much as they did, it's still Champion vs. Champion. They're unifying the titles. I'm like, instantly like, this match has to be great. So that's just my problem.
You know, it's just John Cena versus Randy Orton. They have never really given, like, I think John Cena's best opponent has been CM Punk to this date. And I think when you look back on the DVDs that are going to come out, they're going to have to say, you know what, out of all the matches they have ever had, CM Punk was really the one that brought out the best in John Cena. And this is not to say that John Cena and Randy Orton is a bad rivalry, but especially after this, you know, I don't think I want to see another John Cena Randy Orton match. I think I could live without them ever doing another one of these. It's not that this was a bad match, just it didn't deliver what it should have been.
I just I knew the match was going to suck, so I went in with that expectation, and I was just more looking forward to see what the ending was. If like Triple H would have won that title at the end, I would have been very pissed. But the fact that he didn't, and Randy Orton's champion, I'm fine with what the match was because you know what, I got what I wanted in the end. So that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, I was pretty confident in them having either Cena or Orton as the one winner, especially since that whole like bunch of ignorant people that got refunds for Night of Champions already this year. I don't think that they were going to play with the idea of having people call up for refunds.
I mean, they should have given them the refunds, not because of the ending, but pretty much because the show sucked.
No, hell no. You get what you pay for. At the end of the day, that's the thing about wrestling. If you buy a show and it sucks, then you just learn a lesson for the next time. There's no fucking refunds.
But Jay, on that note, are you a person who would say you wish you could be refunded your money for Battleground? Just saying.
I wish, but yeah, I understand the risk that comes along with being a wrestling fan. I'm not gonna ask for a refund just because I don't like how a show ended. That's stupid.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. If you buy it, you have to, you got to go in there saying, okay, if this match pay-per-view sucks, well, that's my bad, but you paid for it. You shouldn't.
Yeah, that's your fault. You should have gave me a good match. Now I'm not going to buy the next pay-per-view.
That's where you get your get back, though. You learn your lesson for the next time.
It's like if I went in, watched a movie, paid money for a ticket, watched the movie, it sucked. Like, I'll walk out, but I'm not going to ask for my money back. So, yeah.
I've done that plenty of times.
And did it happen? Did it happen?
Got my money back too. Yep.
Well, that's just stupid. That shouldn't really be that shouldn't be a thing.
I don't care if you think it's stupid. I got my money back. That's what matters. I don't
like
care
that's not even good.
So, Jay, you don't think you should agree with TNA not giving money back for the Victory Road debacle with Jeff Hardy? You don't think they deserve their money back then?
That's different because a dude came out to the friggin' ring, high or drunk or whatever the hell he was. That's a completely different situation. That wasn't a booking decision.
But card is always subject to change, and they just didn't, use that, I guess, and that's the next situation. But moving on.
Why just throw out Van Dam just to have a match when we could just put out Jeff Hardy for a 2-minute one when he's high?
Hell, wake up Sandman, get him out there.
It's amazing that friggin' Sting was still in that company after that because he was so pissed.
Why'd they even let him out there? Surely they would have known.
They found him passed out and they woke him up and they were like, hey, bitch, you got a match.
Right now.
Yeah, and I was so sure that Randy Orton was not going to win this match. I honestly said, I thought I had more chance of walking away with those fucking titles, and I'm all the way in Arizona than Randy Orton did, and he was actually competing in the match. I said point blank, no matter what the result, no matter who wins, they could pull some fucking 140-pound skinny-ass dude out of the audience, and he had more of a chance winning than Randy Orton did. I was so sure he was going to lose this match. But lo and
what
behold,
it came down to? My 2K line. It really did the trick. It's magic, people. It's magic trick.
So you did
Fine, the only way The Undertaker would ever beat John Cena at WrestleMania is if you did it in WWE 2K.
You bastard.
Damn it.
We're going to happy on the show, guys. I hope you're happy with the end result because of Charlie. Send your hate mail to @CM Punk Mark.
Actually, I should be doing that the other way. The only way John Cena would beat Undertaker at WrestleMania is if you went and put 2K in your video game system and played it on WWE 2K.
Send your hate mail to Charlie right now.
We hope you enjoyed the show.
Alrighty, guys. So